Hello, everybody. That was a little bit longer of a break because I was waiting for a sneeze to come out before I turned on my mic. Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? Hi, Flip. Hi, Auren. I'm guessing you're lurking and can't hear me, but that's okay. Hi, anyway. And whomst else? Hi, Stars. Bye, son. Beautiful. Love it. No, I get you. I just realized that I should do something. If you guys don't know, there was a bit of drama on Threads over the past couple days, which has, thank you, Stars. Which means that you guys get some money off of stickers. So if you want to buy some stickers, now's a good time to do it. Hi, Diabra. And we can talk about the drama a little bit, which is still unfolding, I would like to say. Man, I've dropped a lot of frames already. I might need to change my frames and stuff again. It's already so low, though. Like... But yeah, how we doing? I've been promoting like crazy over on Threads for the past couple days. If you don't want your belly tickled, you shouldn't have a cute soft belly. Just saying. Hi, Lapras. Oh, yeah. It used to be 3 months, I think. But all good. I know who you are, so. You're goo in your ear. We're gonna need to clean your ears later, Papa. I'm talking to Con off screen, in case anybody was wondering. If you are not in the Discord, I will tell you that it snowed here a lot overnight. So I haven't changed the lighting or the camera settings, but it may look a little brighter than normal because we have nature's light diffuser outside the window. So if you feel like this is too bright or something, let me know and I will adjust the camera. What else do I have to say? My therapy session did actually happen yesterday. I still haven't figured out how to make those alerts be a normal level of sound for me, so... if I get jump scared by my own alerts, it's fine. Hi, Grim. That's jump scared and more like startled, I guess. I'm doing a stretch.
Show me your hands.
Con thinks he should get soul rights to my hands. Yes, hi, Papa.
Oh my god, why can't you just take the freaking top of
Hi. You know, if you come per over there, they might be able to hear you. I'll also do Sippy. You're gonna loaf on the side of the couch. That's fair. Hannah wrist stretchies. And say something nice about myself. Oh my god, why are you acting like that? Can you hear the music through my headphones? Is that why you're acting weird? Okay. Con just like looked over off to the side like he was looking at a ghost or something. There is nothing over there. But he was on high alert for a second. Something nice about myself. My brain is trying to formulate like what I want to say into words, and it is not going well. I guess my compliment, I'm gonna say this messy and then we can clean it up because otherwise I'm not gonna get it out at all. I'm very proud of myself for how I have run my business with a focus on still being myself versus being overly professional, if that makes any sense at all. So, like, this really is all me all the time, and all the art that I make is me, and all of the promo stuff I make is me, and that means that it always has, like, my very distinct voice, which I think is something that's, like, important to me. So I'm proud of myself for continuing to do that, even when it's not considered the quote-unquote correct way to run a business. Oh yeah, I hope you feel better, Lapras. Have a good nap. And if that didn't make sense, I can try to clarify it, but I think it made sense, mostly. Which will also be related to the drama that caused the sticker code to happen. Because, I don't know how much anybody really wants to know about this. But basically, without getting super into it or calling out usernames or whatever, somebody has been regularly using rage bait to drum up pity to make lots of sales where they sell stickers. It's not an art business because it's not their art. And it's coming out that a lot of the art that they have been using is not appropriately licensed, which is great. Man, OBS really thinks my bitrate is shit today. Oh, congrats on the 7-stream streak. I lost my train of thought because the crashing bitrate confused me. Okay, was using RageBait to sell things. And not all of the art was legally licensed, just coming out, which was not clear at the start. So that is ongoing. And yeah, not appropriately given credit for the art. And she was regularly using marketing tactics that were basically focused around rage in order to have people back her financially. So the kind of thing where, like, oh, somebody bullied me, let me show you how I'm getting bullied. And then people will give me pity purchases, basically, was how she was running her business. And I noticed that happening before the whole thing exploded in the past couple days, because the thing that made it finally explode was not the only instance of this happening. It was just a time when she was called out on it being fake. And I had noticed her using those tactics before, and I kind of like kept an eye on it for a bit and followed to keep an eye on a specific one. And once I saw the third time her doing something similar to that, I was like, I don't feel good about this. This is kind of skeezy. I'm not going to follow you anymore. And then everything exploded. But she specifically bragged repeatedly about how many sales she would make after sharing something that was rage baity. So she said at one point that somebody was stalking her and her family over meta stuff. The most recent one was some supposed MAGA person repeatedly emailing her abuse, which it turns out was not an actual person. That was her making up emails. And because of those emails in specific, she said that she made $10,000 in sales in 48 hours. That's more money than I've made with my art in 3 years. So a lot of that, especially for other small artists like me, who are actually making our own art and making all of our own materials and, trying our best to get a foot in the algorithm, it's really demoralizing. I will take a sippy. Hi, BP. I should have refilled my water before I started, actually. But, like, even though it's demoralizing to a point, it's also kind of like, I don't know. I am comfortable with how I've run my business, even if I'm not making enough to really support myself, you know? So I think in the end, that's actually a win for me. Because nobody is going to pop up and be like, actually, you've been cheating all these people, because I'm just some dude who's like making art and chilling out, you know? I'm realizing while I'm looking at this that I did not fill in that little bit of fire right there. But yeah, so that's been going down, and a lot of people have been like posting on threads trying to find other real artists to support. So yesterday morning, I basically posted like a massive amount of things on threads, because people were like, oh, if you're an artist who actually makes your own stuff, drop your links and stuff. So I was doing a lot of that yesterday, and I'm still doing that today. Yeah, I'm just a little guy. Just a little birthday boy. With a sleepy little kitty boy. But yeah, so things have been happening, and it's wild, and I'm just kind of sitting in the back watching it with popcorn. You know? Things have been crazy there, and I'm very glad I'm not in the middle of any of that. Because part of it is that the person who did eventually call out the fake emails is also getting massive abuse now, like real abuse, because the person who was faking sent her followers to report that person's account repeatedly, and then pretended like she hadn't done that, and then some people posted her requesting people do that from her Facebook group, and now her Threads account is on private, which means you have to request to follow, and she has to approve you following, if you aren't already following. So, like, so, like, even if I don't make any sales this month, at least I'm not like that, you know? It's wild. It's wild. Okay, I said that I was going to think about the wallpaper pattern that I was going to do for this in between streams, and I 100% did not do that. I feel like, honestly, it's not even the moral high ground. It's just like, why would you make that so much more difficult for yourself? Because, like, constantly rage baiting and stuff has to be exhausting. It's like, it's the same as those people who are, like, constantly internet trolling. Like, that's so much work. Why would you do that? Like, I already have enough work just, like, posting that I made something, you know? And it's freaking wild to me. Especially since she's basically cosplaying as an art business. Which, again, seems like way more effort than just doing it. It's so weird to me. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what's been going on. That's, you know what? That's a good point, Stars. I guess if you're using Canva stuff and stealing other people's art, you have more time on your hands. Because you don't have to, like, prep all your files and stuff. I say, looking at the stack of files that I have to prep in order to make more stuff. So my nose is really runny today. I apologize in advance for the sniffles. I'm probably going to end up muting to blow my nose here, actually. So when you see my PNG tuber go off while I'm muted, just know that I'm blowing my nose like a trumpet, okay? All right, we'll see how long that lasts. I already feel like I need to sneeze again. One of the things with like winter in general is that when it gets to a certain level of cold, all of the moisture leaves your orifices. And it's really bad for noses and you get super sneezy and then your mucus tries to help and it's like, bruh, I get that you're trying here, but you're making life more difficult for all of us. What's up, Papa? You cold? I'm just gonna use the eeps. Okay. But yeah, so that's been going on. And I did actually have a therapy session yesterday. And the counselor apologized for the front desk not telling me that my last appointment was canceled. Because, like, I don't know. I feel like, on one hand, I feel like I'm being dramatic about it, which I know is not real. But, like, I feel like most people wouldn't actually say anything about that. Just because they'd be, like, embarrassed or something. But I'm, like, telling everybody I'm dealing with, like, hey, by the way, this kind of sucks. So I'm betting that this is the first time that a lot of those folks are hearing that the front desk has had problems, but it's definitely not the first time the front desk has had problems, you know what I mean? Okay. I still haven't decided what we're baking, user. I started talking about the wallpaper and then I got distracted and stopped talking about it. I didn't think about the wallpaper while I was gone, but when I was ending stream last time, I realized that I took a photo of the wallpaper in Cap's kitchen when I was visiting because it was very vintage and very cute. So I'm thinking I can actually alter that and do that if I can find the photo again. There it is. It's so cute. Here, I'll show you. Is that bright enough? Will you be able to see? Yes. Isn't that so cute? It's little strawberries in between, so it looks like kind of like a grid, but it has little strawberries. And I thought this would make like cute washi tape, but I'm going to do something other than strawberries. He suggested cherries, which I think is a good plan. And I also immediately thought of blackberries, because I had blackberry bushes in the yard of the house that I grew up in. So that's just, I don't know. Nice memory. I can't think of the word that I'm thinking of. Want to think of nostalgic, I guess. The problem with that is it does have very straight lines. I do think that I want to do a base color so that the wallpaper isn't straight white. And then I can add the images over top of that, but I need to decide what color I want to do on the bottom, which also involves me deciding what fruit I'm actually going to do in that. Cherries does make sense just because of my persona. I don't know whose kitchen this would be is the other question. But what color would I want to do actually? Then probably I'll take a ruler and do some lines. Yeah, that's totally fair, Bwib. I know that my grandma has wallpaper in her bathrooms. And honestly, she changed the wallpaper in the bathroom in the family room. And I was really upset about it because the original wallpaper that was in there, like they had put it in the house. It wasn't like original to the house. But when I was growing up, the wallpaper that was in there was a pattern with a bunch of different dogs on it that said bitch. And they still have the coffee mug with that. And I took photos of it the last time I was there because I would love to redo that design. Because it's not around anymore. Like, it's old. But it's so fucking funny to me. And I loved that as a kid. So my grandma and grandpa raised and bred dogs and showed dogs when I was growing up. So bitch was a word that was used both as a curse and as the actual thing. But I do know that they had a lot of problems taking that out of the bathroom when they were changing it. Maybe I'll do this color. I guess I haven't used a huge amount of like green-based yellow. And I do have a... Hello! Hi, Pioneer! I do have a... here somewhere. This one. That's kind of like a Mountain Dew color. It looks way less green on screen right now. Yes, yes. So we have that one, and then there's another ferret that's like flopping out of something. But I do like the sound on that one. I think if I do something like that, it's pretty pale. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Yeah, it looks like highlighter yellow to you guys. It's so weird. But I think that in the background would be good for whatever fruit I decide to do. I do think cherry makes sense. And I did say that I would take suggestions for this, so to help make it a little bit more chaotic. So I might take the cherry suggestion. But first, we will do the background for this. I still need to decide what we're baking also, so that I can fill in the various splashes. This is actually very similar to the color that my grandma's house was when I was growing up. It's a little bit orangier. It was like a bright yellow because my grandma was repainting her house and like asked me what color it should be. And I told her that my favorite Crayola crayon color was the correct option, which at the time was Day Glow. It was like basically a neon orange yellow. Which is still the color I associate with her. Even though I was the one that picked it. Do I have anything else to say that's important? I don't know that I do. Oh, I released the print listings. So yes, I do have something else that I haven't told you guys. So I mentioned that I had done art prints and that the listings were going to be on hold for a little bit until I was a little bit more caught up on stuff. Those are released now. So those are in my shop. I should actually message Aria to let him know that that order is up now. So I will show you what's in the shop. I printed one of each for like color correction and then taking product photos. But if there's another piece of art that you would like a print of that is not already listed, just let me know. Because I am printing my own now, which means that I can make tiny orders. So I can make a custom order, or if it's one that a lot of people want, I can add the listing to the shop. So it's super easy to adjust and give people more stuff. And these ones right now are available in 8.5 by 11, which is what this one is. And I can also do them 11 by 17. And I still need to, this one, there's a couple that are also embellished. So I've added metallic on the print. So each of them is a little bit different. And has a little sparkle, which is nice. That one isn't showing up very well, but it is there, I promise. So these are the ones that I have available now. And again, I can add more if anybody wants them. But yeah, there you go. So those are available now. And there's still a sticker sale going on, so you could double dip, you know, if you wanted to. Oh, I just found a stack of art over here that I didn't know where I put it. Cool. Why am I like this? I really should finish my coffee so that I can get my mug out of the way. How's everybody else doing, though? I've been rambling a lot. If anybody has anything to say, I would love to hear it. If you don't, that's okay, too. Ugh. The bottom of that had grounds in it. Oh, I should also say that stream schedule for the next like month and a half is probably going to be a little sporadic, because they're at the point in the class semester, like at the point in the semester for classes that they want models, and the teacher who uses the most models is Monday, Wednesday. So I might be canceling stream. I haven't gotten my schedule back for that yet. Once I do get my schedule back, I'll be able to let y'all know and make like I'll probably make a little schedule graphic and stick it in Discord and post it on socials. I'm trying to do that more and make like graphics, and because people are way more likely to look at pictures on basically every social media except Tumblr. So doing that actually gets the information across more often. I really should do another graphic since I changed when I start on Fridays too, honestly. I'll get to it at some point. I have a bunch of... I really need to update my website. I'm behind on that. I should have done it at the beginning. Well, I try to do it at the beginning of the month. That's a better way to put that. And I haven't had a chance to yet. I also have a bunch of search optimization stuff to do for my website. One of my friends does... or used to do that as like her day job. She does something different now, but I asked if she would be willing to help me, and she was like, yeah, absolutely. And she tried to convince me that I shouldn't pay her, and that didn't work for her. Like, no, you're doing labor for me. I will be paying you. Thank you. Oh my god, so many tiny little cat hairs. So that's gonna try and buckle down and get a bunch of that done this weekend. Oh, I will say I probably won't be there, and if you know, you know. But Sleepy does have their affiliate event on Sunday, so you guys should go hang out if you can. I'll probably just work in the background. Oh, another thing. Stars, I have a question for you if you're still listening. If you're not, that is also okay. Which I meant to just like message you this morning, and then I got distracted. As you do. Did you also get an email about Little Corners this morning? Not very long, Lapras, but welcome back. Okay, cool. I'm feeling kind of weird about it, if I'm gonna be honest. Because, like, I do not have a way to stream that at all. Or, like, record it. So I'm feeling kind of weird about having been given that. Which, like, I knows that, so. But it's still kind of like I don't know what to do. Like, there isn't a contract or anything, but I feel weird about it. I might add some more color to the tail here where it would continue. Like, even though the line work doesn't go that far, that doesn't mean I can't make an edge. Yeah, so I'll probably, like, post stuff, like photos and stuff on Instagram and socials, but I can't stream it. Like, it is impossible for me to do that. I can't even have somebody else on my stream without my laptop exploding, so. I might message and ask what the, I don't know, not the expectations are, but what would be a good way to go about it, I guess, is what I mean. But, like, I'm pumped to get it, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I feel that. I guess we do have a group chat with him from when we were talking about that stuff a bit ago, so we can both just message in there if that makes you feel better. I do need to decide what color to make the window frame also. We are not going to have, like, anything left straight white in this that aren't, like, teeth and eyeballs. Oh, I do need to put this in the spot with Doodle's gauges also. Yeah, I feel like, especially since that's what I can do, it would be good. But I figure, like, once it's released and stuff, posting, like, cozy photo with stickers kind of a thing. They can, like, I don't like saying stage a photo, even though that's, like, the correct terminology. But, I can set up a photo of what I would do usually on a Saturday or whatever anyway. Yeah, true. I need a smaller brush for this bit. Okay. Dry enough? I think yes. Just do, like, yeah, I feel like that looks better. I guess we could also collab on it, Stars, where we both do the same level and then compare our things. Yeah, exactly, Stars. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mostly play games on my Steam Deck now because, like, as previously mentioned, my laptop can't handle a lot. It had trouble playing Sticky Business, which is not a very hefty game, you know? So I play, like, basically everything on my Steam Deck at this point. There's only one game that I've gotten that isn't good on Steam Deck and doesn't work on Mac, so I can't play it at all. And it wasn't, like, expensive, and, like, I knew that it wasn't going to, like, run great, but I am still kind of disappointed because it's one of the ones that my friends hang out in a lot, and I might cry when I'm talking about this. I'm just realizing how emotional that made me. It feels really isolating a lot of the time to not be able to do proper collabs with people. So, like, I can't collab with games on other people's streams. I now, at this point, can't even have a guest on my stream without my laptop crapping out. Web fishing. Yep. I don't have a way to play that. And hi, Shani. So it just, I don't know. It gets tiring to stop being invited to things, I guess. So, like, I enjoy mostly doing stuff on my own, but it would still be nice to feel included every once in a while, you know? God, there's so many tiny little hairs. I hate it. I'm apparently going to be whining today, too. I also got way more emotional than I was expecting during therapy yesterday. Like, not even talking about the big stuff, TM. But I kind of realized partway through that, like, it's not something that I've talked about openly a lot because I would have gotten in trouble for it. So I got to deal with, like, a lot of weird guilt last night about that. Hi, BP! I said hi to you already, but I'll say it again. So, like, purposefully, the therapist was like, we aren't gonna get into anything too heavy today. We're just gonna, like, get to know each other and stuff. And I was like, alright, cool. And then I, like, almost cried 5 times. Which is unusual for me, honestly. Like, I am more likely to cry if I'm talking out loud with my human voice. But it is unusual for me to get, like, that emotional about stuff. But, yeah. That's so valid, BP. It's a good flop. I do think I will make... a little darker from the bottom here. Ooh. Yeah, that's fair. And honestly, I have never been able to, like, match a real, like, Chinese fried rice. But I can tell you how I do mine if you want, Johnny. I guess I should also do some pretty extreme shadows from the fire. I might do that in, like, a gray overlay. Just because there's so many colors going on. And that is kind of like cell shading kind of vibes. Wow, that does not look even remotely different to you guys, does it? It's so funny what this camera picks up and what it doesn't. I mean, mostly it doesn't, but, you know. Yay! Really, like, I have not gotten it to my fried rice in general to a point where it gets that same texture. Mine is usually pretty mushy, like, in comparison to, like, a classic fried rice, but it still tastes good, so, you know. But I usually, so whatever protein I'm doing, I cook that in the pan first. With some oil, and I'll use some sesame oil if you can afford it, just a little bit. You don't need a lot, but it does add a good amount of, like, that background flavor that you associate with fried rice. So I'll season, I often do chicken and tofu, so I'll season the chicken and the tofu and, like, warm up the tofu while I'm cooking the chicken, basically, because it'll suck up the other flavors. And then add some more oil and throw the rice in and heat that up. Whatever veg you're using, I often just use, like, a frozen veg mix, just because, like, that's what most Chinese restaurants do anyway. Like, it's the same, you know, carrot, pea, corn kind of mix. So throw that in and all that kind of stuff and heat it up. And then I also add eggs, so I will scoot everything to the edges of the pan and then scramble the eggs in the middle, and you'll get like some pieces of stuff mixed in, but I feel like, again, that's pretty authentic to fried rice. And then I will, after everything's heated up, I basically deglaze the pan with soy sauce while everything is in it. Which I feel like actually cooking the soy sauce a bit gives it kind of like a different flavor for sure. Yeah, I mostly use canola, but I will add a little bit of sesame to it, especially at the beginning. I feel like it adds the right flavor. And I usually use a lot of dried, like, ground spices. If you have fresh ginger, grating that in makes a huge difference. But I throw ground ginger. What else? I usually throw a little bit of ground mustard in there. Salt, pepper. Sometimes some chili flake if you want it spicy. I often use white pepper too, which again can make it kind of spicy. Me trying to remember what I grab out of the cabinet when I do this. Adding some onion powder and garlic powder for sure. Or if you can, getting scallions and adding those at the very end will make a big difference. Or green onion, same difference. And also make sure you season your eggs. You gotta season every single part of it, otherwise it's not good. Oh, I hate that. Like, it's annoying enough to have to buy a ton of expensive vegetables, but then when they have, like, the gall to not even stay good long enough for you to use them, it's like, what the fuck, dude? What's wrong with you? I still haven't decided what we're baking. Maybe carrot cake. Because that would be something that would have some texture, so that could be fun to paint. And make it more chaotic. Yeah, it's part of the ADHD tax, too, really regularly, is fruit and veg. See, I'm not a big fan of carrot cake. I love making carrot cake, but I don't like eating carrot cake. It's one of my brother's favorites, though. Doop, 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 doop. Oh, I did want to add more green to the, the background. What green do I want, though? Probably want to mix the slime green. That's fair. I always add like a lot more spices than people usually do to my carrot cake. Or honestly, any kind of spice cake, I add a lot more to it. That's fair, Shawnee. I do tend to add mushrooms to my fried rice pretty often, just because I like them. What was I saying? I'm really just not gonna have any sort of like actual brain today, I think. Which is fine. I don't need to. Carrot cake and spice cake, that's what I was talking about. I always add more spices to it. Because, like, that's the point. Otherwise, why would you call it, like, a spice cake, right? So I usually, this is a controversial opinion, and I also do this in my pumpkin pie, which is one of my favorite pies. I add white pepper to it. Just a little. It doesn't gotta be a lot. And I also like, I do a lot more spices than people call for, honestly. Because like, what's the point of like having all this access to spices and then not using it? Like, you know? But usually for like anything that involves warm spices, I do the usual like ginger, clove, nutmeg, allspice, cinnamon, a little bit of white pepper, just a little bit. Yeah. Oh my god, that sounds so good, Tens. And hello. I'm gonna start doing that now. Yeah, that's so fair, Shawnee. And honestly, that's part of the point of fried rice. It's like I was saying last time. It's like the same as soup. You can put whatever in there and like it will be a good meal. It may not be like what you were aiming for, but it will still be good food, you know? It's just a potion. It's all just a potion. I do usually, when I'm making mac and cheese, I usually add pickled jalapenos to it. Hi, Cap! Soup and grilled cheese sounds good too. I have the stuff to make grilled cheese. I just need to like actually make it, you know? Oh, I keep moving the table, which is shaking the camera. That's why that's doing that. Other things. Okay, we decided on carrot cake. I think we'll also bring some more of the orange around. So let's do that before I do the pattern on the wallpaper, which we're gonna go into that with less of a plan than I normally do things. Hi, tomato. Excellent. Ooh, sounds good. Is this about the color that I want? Yeah, that's good, I think. Actually, maybe a little bit more. I will say, so I have a headcanon for why DoodleBee was using a frying pan here. Yeah, I'm glad you did. But something that I often do for cakes, because it adds some oomph. If you're making any sort of frosting with butter in it, brown the butter first, which you would do in a stove on, or in a pan on the stove. In a stove on a pan. Yeah, sure, brain. That's definitely the words that I was trying to say. And if you don't pay attention to that, it does catch fire pretty quick. I have not had it catch fire, but it is a possibility. Yeah, a stove on a pove. My brain is not doing so good at the word today. It's one of those days where like I could have slept more, but I was feeling like really restless since I got up this morning. Like I need to do something more than just like filling out my little spreadsheet or whatever, you know. Which meant that meditating today was a task. Yeah, it's been a weird week. It has. And I've had like a weirdly stressful past 2 weeks, honestly. Yep. I think part of that, honestly, is probably just that doing those late night model sessions really messes with my brain schedule. Which means that the rest of the week just feels off, even if everything's like fine. And I don't have anything like new and stressful, which I did this week, so. Which, yeah, so I mentioned this before, but Tomato is here now. So I did actually have my therapy session yesterday. Which means I'm now... my therapist was like, oh, this specific method is a method that I like to use. So I'll just throw that out there now, and you can research it and like let me know what it feels like to you, and if that feels like something you want to do, kind of a thing. So I obviously immediately started researching this after the appointment and got the book of the person who came up with the technique, and I'm now reading the book. I was like, you don't need to tell me to research. I will do that on my own. I'm very much a research on my own kind of person. And I actually suggested a book about PTSD to her that she had not read during the appointment yesterday, which I thought was very funny. It's not like a medical book. It was more of like a personal experience kind of thing, but that's why I was familiar with vaguely familiar with the method when she brought it up. I wasn't aware of the like proper name for it, but I knew what it was when she started talking about it. Because your girl does her own research. I'm not trying to win at therapy. I'm trying to understand what somebody is going to attempt to do to my brain. Because just looking into it a little bit, I'm a little bit suspect of the guy who made the technique. Because of the way he phrases a lot of stuff. So, like, I'm not saying that the technique isn't good or whatever, but the way that he claims to have healed some stuff is like, I don't know about that. For anybody who's curious, it's called brain spotting. So it's a, like a little bit of a change technique from, am I going to remember the acronym in the correct order? EDRM, which is like a rapid eye movement technique. I think that's vaguely matched now. And it's mildly controversial if it actually does anything. Which is fair. Like, it's relatively new, and basically any technique to help, especially with PTSD, that has come up is often questionable for like the first 30 years that the technique is used. You know. Thank you. I will take a photo. And one of the things, no, I haven't figured that out, Shawnee. I think it's something to do with a setting that I haven't turned off on OBS that I used to have off. And it might also be Discord messing with my sound volume, because Discord and OBS both do an automatic thing where it bumps up the desktop audio because it's feeding it back to you. And I know that I turned that off at some point, but I don't remember how I did it because it was ages ago. Yeah, for sure. PTSD is like, and the brain in general is hella complicated. So like, yes, there aren't a huge amount of studies with a huge amount of participants in them that talk about this and how the technique has helped people. it's mostly just anecdotal evidence, but that is also how basically every single psychiatric treatment has started. So, and I've read enough to know that. But the guy specifically, David Grant is the person who came up with it, has mentioned specifically in his book, and I've just started it, it's not super long, but specifically mentioned that he's seen it help with people with fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome. And then also threw in whiplash as an example, like physical whiplash, it has helped people. And I'm like, that sounds like woo-woo weirdness to me. That sounds fake. That sounds like you're huffing your own farts about it, actually. And also seems like a great way for doctors to have a way to tell chronic illness havers that it's actually all in their head because the psychiatric treatment will help. So I'm going to continue reading the book, but I also have a mild concern with that. Which I'm writing like a list of questions to bring up with my therapist too about it, so that I can see how she responds to it, because how she responds is more important than how the guy who came up with it responds. Because the guy who came up with it is not the one who's going to be fucking around in my brain, you know? But yeah, I'll finish reading the book and see. Excuse me, I'm still so sniffly. But he came up with a technique specifically after dealing with people who were traumatized by 9/11. And in his own little introduction, the way he described the way that he reacted to other patients after dealing with 9/11 survivors very much reads like one of my trauma responses. Where part of this technique is that the person, the trained psychologist or whoever is doing it on you, notices your like minute facial changes when you're going through this technique, and then like kind of has you stay in a certain spot and deal with whatever is happening in your brain when you're staring at that spot that made your brain start going weird. And on one side, like, I get it that people who would be uncomfortable or whatever would, or had a memory come up, surface, would react physically. But it also, like, automatically noticing that does very much read like one of my trauma responses. And I'm wondering if he actually gave himself PTSD from having to listen to traumatic things from 9/11 survivors repeatedly for like a year and a half. Which is another one of my questions. Because like I also am very tuned into minute facial changes, but that's because that's what kept me safe as a child, you know, kind of a thing. So that's another thing that I'm gonna ask about. And I will point out that all of these things that I have said are in the first 2 chapters of the book. I have a few more chapters to go still. Nobody can ever accuse me of not being thorough in these matters. Because there's definitely some stuff from other, like, very high regarded psychology books where I'm like, some of this seems yes, and some of this seems like, are you sure? Hi, Alma. Congrats on the 3-stream streak. Oh, yeah, I saw that. That's a good one, Shawnee. God, do you remember? This is mostly for Shawnee, but I'm sure some other people who are of the Tumblr origin will remember. Do you guys remember the huge discourse that went around Walden's Pond and Thoreau a while back, a few years ago? There was like supposed to be some big feminist read on it, and then the TERFs got a hold of it. Do you remember? I remember. I still think about that sometimes. Yeah. It was like, okay, we had some good points, and then we went completely off the rails. Good. I'm glad that you missed that, Stars, because it was a nightmare. So basically the concept, originally the point was that a lot of the classic male authors that we consider very thoughtful and very progressive for their time were actually relying on women's labor the entire time. So the specific example was Walden's Pond, where Thoreau, you know, after the death of his brother, took some time to write and think and look sadly at the lake. But he was living in a house that his family owned on their own property. And his mother was doing his laundry for him and making sure that he was eating. And basically, like, the whole argument boiled down to somebody saying, yeah, exactly. So, like, there is a reasonable point to be made here, which is a lot of labor that women have done throughout the times is invisible and people don't always consider it, right? That's perfectly fine. But it kind of like devolved into TERFdom, and it was like fucking nuts. And people were arguing about things that weren't real, and it got really nuts. Yeah. So like there is I forget who said the quote, but there is a more recent progressive who was talking about the like liberal movement and the anti-war movement and stuff like that around Vietnam, I believe. I might be misremembering. And said that so many men talk up like the liberal stuff and say they're all for women's rights and blah blah blah, but won't do the dishes, which again is a valid point. Like, are you actually believing in this as a small scale movement that you can make a difference in, or are you thinking about some grand revolution that's going to suddenly change everything and you don't need to do anything until that happens? Which again, a very valid point, and is something that you can take outside of that gender concept and apply to basically any liberal that you've ever seen in your life. Where like, okay, are you actually making a difference in your local community, or have you decided that it only matters if it's big? But TERFs got a hold of it and then changed it to be bleh, you know? Exactly, Stars, exactly. So, like, especially, this started, like, resurfacing, I guess, around the Joss Whedon stuff, specifically, where it's like, yeah, he talked the talk for a while, but he clearly does not walk the walk, you know? Which, like, was obvious for a lot longer than when people finally called him out about it, but, you know. Like, look at how he writes women. It's real obvious. And honestly, how he treated the actress who played Cordelia. Like, watch all of Angel and tell me that man loves women. Bullshit. But yeah, it's like, it is a valid point, but also that's something that people can improve on. That doesn't mean that they're immediately guilty, you know? which is how TERFs kind of took it. They were like, ah, yes, this means that all men are disgusting and are evil, and we shouldn't give them the time of day. And I'm like, no, that's not even remotely the point. Yeah, she did. And she was such a good actress. I'm mad about Angel. I never finished watching all of Buffy, but I was a big Angel fan. I like imprinted on that hardcore. And it just got so gross so fast. It really went off the rails, and entirely because Joss Whedon wanted to punish her for getting pregnant, which is fucking ridiculous. But yeah. All of those good points until the TERFs get a hold of it, basically. Oh, what is that other post that I agree with the original post, but then basically the only version that's running around has a bunch of TERFs commenting on it. I'm like, no, you weren't saying those the way that they should be said, kind of thing. Yeah, exactly, Shawnee. But there's another one about bids in relationships that has a quote from an article. I think an article, maybe it's a Reddit post or something, I don't fully remember, about how a woman knew her marriage was over when her husband wouldn't come to look at her tomatoes. Which basically in relationships, and not just romantic relationships, any kind of relationship, there are bids for attention, right? So especially like the biggest example you can think of is with kids going, mom, 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 look at me, mom, you aren't looking, right? And people do that all the time. Like, it's constant. If you post something in a Discord, like, oh, look at this thing I did, you're asking for attention. If you're, like, sending somebody a meme, you're asking for attention. And that's not an evil thing. It's not bad, right? Despite what, the universe tries to tell us. But especially in romantic relationships, especially in heteronormative relationships, there's an issue where women will have interests and their husbands will not even remotely connect with them over it. So this woman who was gardening, and that was one of her favorite things to do, told her husband to look at how nicely the tomatoes were coming in, and her husband didn't come over to look. So he denied that bid for attention. And while it isn't, like, you can't always respond to everybody's bid for attention, but if it is a repeated pattern of somebody ignoring the things that you care about and not even doing something small like looking at a bird outside that you said was cool or whatever, it is a small example of a larger pattern of neglect in a relationship. Which actually there's a trend going on Instagram right now about women doing the bird test to their partners. Where they say that they saw a cool bird. The bird is no longer there, and often they did not actually see a cool bird, but they'll tell their partner while recording their partner that they saw a cool bird earlier. And how the partner responds is often an indicator of how healthy the relationship is. And I will say outright that obviously this is farming for content. It's not necessarily real. It comes from a real place, but those instances are not real. And that doesn't indicate everything in a relationship and blah, 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 blah. You guys are smarter than that, I know. But, so like if you're trying to do that and your partner just goes, and doesn't look up from their phone, that might be an indicator of a larger issue, So basically, people on Instagram are recreating this thing repeatedly that also TERFs have tried to co-opt. And, like, it's a good point, again, but if you take it to an extreme, then it is no longer a good point. Yep, absolutely, Shani. I feel that. Congrats on the streak. But yeah, there's a post of that on Tumblr that like ended up in turf circles, and again, they took it to an extreme that it was not indicative of. Unfortunately, people don't always notice that they're reblogging from turfs. It's like a kind of scary amount of women actually agree with gender essentialism to some degree. And like haven't actually thought about it at all. Again, no need to apologize for being quiet, Tense. You're allowed to just hang out. You don't gotta talk all the time. I'm glad that you get to leave at a reasonable time, because you have been working like real late a lot. Ooh, I do think that I probably want to add some little brown speckles to this batter too. I can tell that it's cold outside. I've had a headache like all week because of all the pressure changes and stuff from the cold coming in. Yay, headache buddies. I say that, I don't know, ironically, I guess. It's pretty common, honestly. I basically go through all of winter with a headache. It's fine. Oh, the sleepy little Bubba covering his nose. Sleepy little Bubba. Is it cold out here? Is that why you're covering your nose? It's more like inside. So it's mostly my sinuses and my bad ear get really bad. Because I come from a family of awful sinuses. And I don't know if anybody else experiences this, actually. I feel like I've talked about it before. But does anybody else, like, get a frontal lobe headache when they're trying to focus really hard? And it's not, like, actual pain. It just feels like you're dragging molasses with you. It's like that. Except I'm not necessarily trying to focus. But I find that that kind of headache or whatever, that weirdness happens to me when I'm focusing on something that my brain doesn't want to focus on because it's boring. Very much feels like forcing your child to sit down at the kitchen table with their math homework. Oh, I mentioned a collab with you stars and then I like didn't expand on it at all. if you would be interested, I think you said that you would be vaguely interested in doing that. We can talk about that later, actually. I feel like planning it for the day that the game comes out is probably a good idea and would be the most helpful. Not that I really know, but... E. Alright, well, we can look at it and pick a level to compare with. Because I feel like we'll both do something pretty different. And then I won't feel quite as weird about not being able to stream it. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I can, like, I could be on your stream on a Thursday if you wanted. Well, maybe on a Thursday. Thursday is that. I might actually not be able to do that because I'd have therapy. But I could have that done or whatever and drop it for you. Or something. I do. Therapy is Thursdays. Like, right around when Stars usually ends, so I need to leave a little earlier. Yee. I can find the time. I do have, like, purposeful fun time at the end of the day, so... I can definitely get that going. I guess I can also let I and the team know how that runs on Steam Deck. I don't know if they were going for verified or not. I haven't looked today. Safe travels, Tens. I'm glad you're going home at a normal time. Okay. I did still want to add edge color to the shorts, so maybe I will do that while I'm thinking about it. Again, I feel like I would make mine match and Doodle would not match. So maybe I'll do like pink on mine since it matches the tie-dye. Because knowing me, which I do know myself, I have known myself the whole time I've been alive, I would have purposefully picked colors for the tie-dye that would have matched whatever shorts I wanted to wear with them. I like coordinating. Maybe magenta. Okay, thank you for checking for me. Because sometimes, like, if something is working to be verified, it will usually say, but often it won't say otherwise. But I'm sure it'll be fine. But I can mess with it and let them know. That way I can feel like I'm being helpful. So I guess I never actually said what Stars and I are talking about, did I? We both got little corners, codes for the game. It's like the creator codes kind of a thing. Which I was mentioning, I felt kind of weird about it because I can't stream it. So I'm brainstorming ways to feel less guilty about having received a code. Thank you, Shani. Which, for those who don't know, our beloved Eye for Scotland is working on the team for that. Which is part of why I've been pumping it up whenever I see it on Instagram in my story and stuff like that. So yeah. And now I have a code for it. I was just gonna buy it, but you know, that's pretty sweet too. Okay, I have none of my big rulers out here. They're all in the back. I do have a 6-inch ruler, which is not as wide across as this sheet is. Oh, you're so sleepy and blinky. You're so sleepy. I'm gonna make like 6,000 sounds all at once. Hey, Baba. Yeah. Actually, it's been like an hour and a half. Maybe I'll take a quick break and then I can go get a ruler that would actually be the length across that would be helpful to me instead of just trying to make it work with this one. We could actually set ourselves up for less frustration, you know? Seems like a good idea. So yeah, I will take a quick break, which means I'm going to run some ads. Don't look at them. We hate ads. Go take a break yourself, get a little snack, a little drink, a little treat, maybe do a little stretchy, look at something that's farther away from your face than your screen. Oh, yes, I do know Rainbow is live right now, too, and is working on Krampus, I believe her going live said. So yeah, go say hi to Rainbow, too, if you want to. And I will be right back. I have returned. I believe you have returned too. That was a longer break than normal because I got a snack. So, you know. And yes, you gotta dink your oiters. It's required. If you are here and you don't dink your oiters, I will find you. And I did get a bigger ruler, which will work better for me. Do I know how I'm gonna do this? No. Are we just gonna go for it and see how it goes? Yes. Oh no, Cap. I think I will only do it on the wall, and I might do something a little bit different with the ceiling. I would love to come and find you more often, but it costs the monies. Yeah, honestly, Shawnee, I do make a joke because in the modeling sessions, like one of the things is that there are no straight lines on the human body, right? So like even our bones are slightly curved, right? So if you're making a straight line when you're drawing a figure, you're wrong. And you need to like try and fight that even though your brain wants to draw a straight line. And me with my little rainbow watch band always says, if you make me straight, I'll be really upset. I think 1/2 inch is probably good. Let's do that. Will this be exactly straight? No, but that's okay. Because neither am I. Okay. Ooh! What's the list this year? We haven't talked about it even. That's straight-ish, I think. Not that bad. Oh, cool. I will look at that in a bit. I actually should write a couple things on my to-do list now when I'm thinking about it. I would love a week where my to-do list shrank instead of grew. Like, honestly, I start the week with, like, vaguely, like, too many things to do. But I don't need to get them all done that week. And then all of a sudden, more things keep happening. And I have to keep adding to my list. So even if I get everything on my list done, I have more things than I started with. Okay. Not really. I maybe cry. I'm joking. I definitely usually will take a photo of the snow and show people because it's always earlier than they expect it to be. And I often will, when it's snowing, take a video of it actively snowing and post it on socials as like a quiet moment, reel kind of a thing. Like a sit and chill for a second kind of thing. Which I didn't do that last night, but I'll probably do that the next time it snows. Which it might snow more today, so we'll see. Yeah, exactly. And it's just nice, because I know that there's a lot of people who live places where they don't get to see snow. And so they get really excited to see snow. And I'm like, well, I have a lot of snow, so I can show you. I love how you sent me this list. I don't know what any of those mean. You're going to have to show me them all later, babe. Like, yeah, they're all dinosaur names. Yep. Okay. Now we get to do half inch marks up here. Where did I... It's like, where the hell did I set my pencil? I will say that once winter hits, like, it gets cold and starts snowing and all that kind of stuff, I get really hungry. Like, my metabolism, it's not even like a boosted metabolism. My body's just like, hey, it's winter. Can you, like, eat 6 pounds of mac and cheese? And I'm like, I would love to do that, but we cannot physically hold that much mac and cheese. Ooh, okay, cool. I haven't. I like started Paleopines and then never went back to it. It's like not a great sin or anything. Just didn't grab me the right way. Well, I did open up for the first time in like ages the other day, Little Kitty Big City. Because I still have some achievements to do in that one. And it's been long enough that they've added more content to it. Because I never technically finished it because I wanted to finish all the other achievements before I completed the game. So I have what I need to complete the game, but I haven't yet. I just like doing achievements. I did completely finish like all the achievements and all the puzzles for Is the Seat Taken over the weekend. Which was a nice little puzzle game. There were some that were like, they clearly changed the level from when they first released the game, so the solution was different. Because there was one I got really stuck on, and I was like, okay, I'm going to look up the solution to this because I'm getting mad. And the solutions were all wrong for the level because they had changed some stuff. Which probably was because everybody else got pissed at that level too, so they changed it to try and make people less pissed, but it still made me pissed. That was not a straight line. Let's try that again. Hi, Al. That's disgusting, and I'm sorry. I love how I said I needed to add things to my to-do list, and then I promptly did not do that. I was like, oh, you're so organized. Only if I remember. And I don't know what it is. I do need to... I have so much to do. Don't worry about it. I have a lot of like background work stuff to do. Which means I'm probably sitting by myself in a hole for most of this weekend. Okay, we have a grid now. Look what we did. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but it happened. I could have said, but it did, and made it rhyme longer, and I chose not to do that, just so everybody knows. Now I get to do some little sketcheroonies here. Oh, I think that's Al's, Johnny. You should give it back to him. Me trying to figure things out. Okay. I need to pick a spot where we're starting the pattern. And then I will figure it out from there. Let's say we start with a thing here. So this is the bigger design. The next question is, what do I want to do there? I had to think about that. So if I was like really going whole hog on this, what I would do is make this pattern digitally and then transfer it over so that it was an actual proper repeat and the same thing every time. But we're not doing that because, like, why would I do that for this? That's silly. So we're just gonna do our best, you know? So I'm doing... Let's see if I can actually find a reference photo that will help me. Mm-hmm. May end up sorry, I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Don't worry about it. I would if I was the one who designed the stamp. But I do not have any experience carving rubber stamps, so I think the likelihood of me injuring myself is too high for that one, and Cap is in chat, so he would yell at me. Because I do have stamps that I use for, like, business stuff. That I designed and had custom printed. So yes, I would do that. And I actually have been considering making my own stamps for my bullet journaling because I can't find ones that I like that are big enough. They're all for like tiny little notebooks, and like I have too much stuff to write. I can't do a tiny little notebook. There's too much going on, okay? Okay, I think that's reasonable. Then the next one would be right here. But that would involve finding time that I don't currently have, honestly. But it would really help to keep up with my journal if all I had to do was do a stamp instead of drawing the whole kit and caboodle every time. Because I have been, like, really bad about it, honestly. About keeping up with my journal. Also, you guys are going to hear me eating an apple with peanut butter. Because that was the snack that I got. Which I probably could actually move up here. I'm going to be really careful to not get peanut butter on the painting. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then over 1, 2, 3. Me trying to like actually count things. What? In general, yeah. It's not my favorite, but it is the one that lasts best for availability. Because they do tend to stay a lot crisper than other apples for longer. Trying to shove that into the space, and that's not good. Should be more like that. All right. Okay, that one would be there. Like 1, 2, 3, 3 there, which means off. That one would be right here. Okay. Yeah. We also just had Granny Smiths a lot when we were growing up, so like that's just like a standard apple for me because they are my dad's favorite. That is not in the correct spot. Yes. There are some ski-doos. This is true, but they don't usually go through the neighborhood. They, the same people who have the motorcycles do have a vanity truck that is also very loud and has those super bright floodlights on top, which shine directly into my bedroom window, even though I'm on the second floor. Which, so they still do be making noise, but it is not as bad. Especially because, like, snow in general will absorb sound. So it does help there, too. And it means, because it's winter, for the most part, the kids stay inside. Which means that's quieter, too. Hi, Sleepy. How'd your asset go? Okay. I think those are all the big ones. Excellent. Good work. Okay. Now, in like all these other little corners, we get to draw a little cherry. Instead of making them all exactly the same, I might make them like alternate a little bit. Actually, I've changed my mind. I don't want to do all cherries. I think I'm going to do little hearts in the middle for some of them. So do a cherry and then do like a little pink heart. I think that'll be cute. What is it? If it's not a face, what is it? Oh, it's animated. That's why it doesn't look right to me. I have animations turned off on emotes, so. It's dancing. Got it. Yep, got it. That's the problem, because, like, I would love it if everybody who did animated emotes actually followed the rules and didn't make things that flash so often that it made my eyes hurt. I would love that, but alas, that is not the world that we live in. So, I have to have animations turned off, which means, like, a lot of people don't consider how their animated emotes look if they aren't animated. Because if you don't set the like, still frame yourself, it will take the first frame of the animation and then use that as the static. Which means a lot of those, like, leave or run up emotes are just blank squares for me. I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I have to scroll over it to see the name to get the vibe. Hi, Potato. Thank you. Doodle did the line art for this one, so this is our collab. And I'm doing the paint. Thank you, Johnny. Actually, that one doesn't have them. Oh, I do like the club tails. They should be in the club. Yeah, Die November, which Cap has been doing since I've known him, I think. It should be heart. Heart. Cherry. Yeah, drawing things. So it's like, it's similar to like Stream Ink or Inktober or whatever, where it's a month-long challenge. Oh, 100% Shawnee. To be fair, we do that already, and we are not in person. Because, like, I made that joke during D&D about seeing all. And I was like, I don't need to go find that bear image. Shawnee is going to put that in chat for me, and I know that. Good luck, Al. with whatever task you were doing. Not there. Yep. Ooh, thanks, Sleepy. I will go check. Do you always love me a sneaky peeky? If anybody has a reference to anything anybody ever says, it's Shawnee. For shoresies. Maybe cherry. Now in his heart. Cherry. Yeah, which was really fun to see the different sizes. Oh, cute! I love that potato. Okay. I think we're at the point where we get to do something from that. We're going to use a different pen so that it is clear that it is different line art. That one looks just fine. That's so dad-coded of you. All right. Guess I could have done this in like colored gel pen too, but I like this vibe. Welcome back. Oh yeah, have a good rest, Sleepy. Yeah, get some rest for Shawnee. Shawnee needs it. Holy cow. We may need to bonk Shawnee on the head with a brick at some point here. Just saying. Hi, Doodle. How's it going? You know how I said that you didn't need to do all the chaos? I'm living up to my promise here. We're doing an entire wallpaper pattern. Oh yeah, Cap also did play up. Hi, Papa. What's up? It's like, God, everybody's busy. Nobody's petting me. What is this bullshit? You're so tall on your cat tree. He's very pleased I brought that up. I'm glad I was able to do it without, you know, falling down the stairs or something. I figured I could do it if I just pulled it up step by step, which is what I did. If I had tried to just straight up carry it, that would not have gone well. do? I want to do this. Okay. Do I really need to ink all of this? Probably not, but that's what's going down, so deal with it. It's just going to mean that I can actually erase the other pencil lines here. Oh, yeah. That will make you sleepy. Go get some rest. Yeah, the white is the worst because I have to go over it so often. I also have white on my tattoo, and it sucks. Like, purple and red both sting quite a bit, but the white work is the worst. And really, I should go get mine touched up, but I'm not going to. Welcome home, Tens. Yeah, it's awful. Okay. All right, we have a wallpaper pattern.
Show me your hands.
My hams. I will do that in just a moment. And yeah, listening to how my audio is doing stuff, I do think that it's Discord doing the audio ducking bullshit again. Which is my least favorite thing because I can't turn it. It's not an option to turn off on the Mac, but I can hear the music getting quieter when there's other sounds and then bumping back up. Which is great. I love that there's this awful setting that I can't change it off. It's my favorite. It sounds cute. It sounds like a little kid not saying Stegosaurus correctly.
Capitalism sucks.
Capitalism does suck. So true, bestie. Okay. Alright. Stretching my hands. I'm still sleepy. Which I don't think is getting fixed today, honestly. I do have a lot of other work I need to do, but I might not today and just go lay down. Not every day. Oh, that does sound really cute. I feel like Sleepy wouldn't mind trading every once in a while. And a Sippy. I did do a body stretch just then. I missed a line. Alright, now we get to add some more color. I also get to decide... Ooh, sorry, that was probably really loud. How I'm doing the ceiling, which I think I might just darken up the yellow color a bit. So let's do that first. Thank you! DoodleBee did do like a great job with the line art. So it's like really easy to shade. Honestly, like I've added some extra poofs and stuff, but and just the color, but good basis helps for sure. Maybe I'm gonna make this a little bit green actually. So let's lay the yellow down and then I might add a little bit more green on top. I could also stick my entire forearm in wet paint, you know, just for funsies. Actually, maybe I shouldn't do green. Which one is Bloom Keeper? I don't know if I was there for that one. That doesn't sound familiar, but maybe once I hear what it is, I will remember. I also need to do the frame still. I'm thinking I want to do this like lavender wisteria color maybe. Or actually, let me pull out some of these keystones and see what I think about that. Like doing like a sky blue kind of vibe there wouldn't be bad. I think that's a color I haven't used. Also, let's look at it. There it is. Pale green. Here and do I want to add sparkle to the wallpaper? Why not? Where's Fireweed? Let's see. We're just gonna add some sparkly to the wallpaper because I can. You know? Oh, yes, I do remember that one, Shawnee. You're right. Yeah. I thought I'd recognize it once I heard it. The vague Pikmin-esque one. I remember now. I'm so bad at remembering names to things. Yeah, that's fair. There are some games that, like, help me feel sleepy, and there are some games that if I do that, like, if I try to make myself feel sleepy with the game, it will do the exact opposite. Because I'll get obsessed with it and I won't want to stop playing it. Then I'll have to, like, peel myself away. Forcibly. Yeah, totally fair. And, like, honestly, I also do have brain no member disease. And I know, I will say that, like, I used to have a lot of a problem with, like, actually admitting that I didn't remember something. And I would just, like, pretend to know something even though I didn't. I've gotten a lot better about not doing that anymore. Because it's not as scary anymore. I'm not going to get in trouble for it, you know? Which is nice. Because that did take some effort. Yeah, I started playing, well, Cap showed me this game, Garden Galaxy, which is fun and nice and cute, and I went to go buy it because I was like, I want to play this now that I'm watching him play it, and, it came in a pack with a few other games, and I was like, it's not that much more expensive, and these other games look cool, so, you know, I'll get the pack with the stuff in it. And one of them was, Capybara Spa. If I start playing that game, I will not stop. I have to, like, set a timer so that I will actually stop playing at some point. Because it's definitely one of those ones that's made to just, like, keep going. So, like, you could play it indefinitely. Like, you could just keep going. There is no good stopping spot. Because it was clearly made to be, like, an app game, you know? And so it's definitely one of those ones where I have to, like, watch myself. They do have turtles in it too, Shawnee. So I've unlocked turtles that you can put in the baths with the capybara. Or whatever spa thing. They've got, like, little showers and mud baths and stuff. And once you upgrade them, you can put an adult capybara and then 2 additions to it. So you can either do baby capybaras, ducks, or I have unlocked turtles the last time I played. And I literally said out loud to myself, it's Shawnee. I unlocked Shawnee. Because I did not know there were turtles in the game. Yeah, it is pretty cute. It also is, like, it's one of those games where I feel like it could really easily get overwhelming. Because there are, like, a lot of moving pieces and you need to be paying attention to stuff to move along. Like, you don't get punished for not doing something right away, which is nice, but there's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, it's a cute little game. It also, what else did it come with? It came with Chillquarium that I've been playing a lot. It's not really like an active play game for the most part. It's one that you just kind of leave on in the background, which is nice. So I like had it up while I was doing therapy yesterday so that I could stare at the fish while I was thinking. And then there's another one it came with, and I'm not going to remember what it's called because I haven't started playing it yet. But I hadn't heard about it before, too, either. So, yeah. But it's something, too, like Planetopia 2 or something like that. Right, Shawnee? And, like, they're never mad at you. You could leave them in their little spa for an eternity, and they wouldn't care. But it's not fair to the other little capybaras. They need to go in the tub too. Yep. That's it. Thank you. Which I have never heard of before. I have no clue. But I've enjoyed the other stuff that was in the bundle, so I'll probably give it a peek at some point. But I have so many games that I haven't played all the way through. I've also been playing Tiny Bookshop a lot. Which has a lot of achievements. So it will probably keep me busy for a while. But it does get kind of samey. So I think mixing it up with other stuff is probably better. And I get really mad about the suggestions. Because, like, some of the descriptions for the suggestions are just wrong. Like, I mentioned a while back that I had suggested because somebody wanted a romance and a play. And I had Importance of Being Earnest, so I suggested that one, and they were like, there's no romance in this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Whoever said that has not read that play or watched it. Because, like, that's the main focus of the play. Like, yes, it's a comedy, but the whole thing is about talking about romance the entire time, and then they find out that they're perfect for each other at the end of the play. Like, I know more than you. And it regularly does that kind of stuff, and it's kind of annoying. And, like, there isn't a penalty for not getting the recommendation right, but it, after a while, it does irk the shit out of me. Okay, if I start doing the mica, we are going to have little bits of mica in the rest of this for the rest of all time. So I should probably work on anything else I want to work on before I do that. I do think that that's, like, we're well on our way to the finishing touches kind of a situation here. But I do want to add some more, like, intense shadows to stuff like this. Because we do have, like, fire and then a literal nuclear cloud in the background. So I would like to add some, like, drastic lighting kind of vibe to it. Thank you. And it's perfectly valid to be distracted by things. You're at work too, aren't you? Like, I think that's fair. Even if you weren't at work, it would be fair. But we all know how customers are, so. Yeah. Like, wait, I actually do know your work schedule. Hang on. It's true. No way! That's great. I don't know that that yellow's really gonna show up, but it makes me feel better. Oh, I'll check. Why does it look like it just stepped in like a wet spot in its socks when it stepped into the kitchen? Like even the way it's holding its little hands. It's like ew. Like actually center correctly? No, you really don't. Fine. Okay. Is there anything else I want to do this? I probably want to shade the window a little bit. Yep, sure is. Okay, I think I just have the wallpaper pattern to do, and I need to decide what I'm doing with the ceiling. Because I don't know that I want to keep it that color. I might do like a paler green, maybe? Because I feel like having the ceiling match the wallpaper is just not chaotic enough for this. Color we haven't used yet. I don't think that's actually very different. That's a different color. Let's do it. I'm definitely going to need to spray the back of this one and stick it in a book for a while before it flattens out. I think somebody's using a snow blower. It's not that much snow. Should actually find time to shovel the steps this weekend. With what time, I do not know, but that is my job. Yep, this is the how it's made one. Which is actually from Valhalla. This one is. Okay. Which is, this one is specifically is called Good for Health, Bad for Education. Just in case anybody was wondering. Oh yeah, sure does. I've only seen Akira once, and I honestly don't remember a lot of it. So I didn't even realize that that was an Akira reference. What's my point? Oh, okay. Okay. Wallpaper pattern, shadows on the wallpaper, and then I think we're done. Which I may actually want a smaller brush than this. We'll discover. I actually watched Akira with Grimm for her podcast because I hadn't seen it before, which was fun because Grimm and her roommate were doing a kind of like a movie critique podcast. And I have not seen a lot of movies, so I watched a lot for the first season with Grimm. Oop, yeah, go refill your waiters. I don't think I do have darker red sparkly. I actually end up doing like that over red. I don't remember exactly what this color looks like. Go with a straight red for that, actually. accomplished, in case you didn't see. I was just thinking, like, what am I gonna eat for like real lunch afterwards? And then I remembered that yesterday Katie made extra baked potatoes, so that today Katie could have baked potatoes for lunch. That's great. I love that. If you want to toss it in the Discord in sharing is caring would work, or content comments, which is the kind of channel that we made for when we're having discussions on stream and people want to share stuff. Either of those would be appropriate. Yep, yep. No problem. Thank you for finding it and sharing it. Okay, good. That isn't picking up. Somebody is definitely using the snow blower, and I would guess that it's leaf blower guy next door. Just a guess. A blower for all seasons. Which was also my nickname in college. The leaves are gone, so he has to find something else. I'm still not over that teacher saying he used AI to figure out the assignment. It's so stupid. I get that you're not good at math, but neither is AI. It's not actually doing math. Nice. I know, Shawnee, I know. And like the teacher was, because the technique that he was teaching was the grid method, which is where you draw a grid on your reference and then you draw a grid on your paper and you use each grid to, like each square of the grid to make a smaller reference basically so that you end up with a more accurate piece, which involves ratios, which can be a little bit much. But he was saying that like he had never really had a successful lesson with that before. And then one of his students last semester said that like suggested that he ask AI, and that was the most successful it's been. And it's just like there's so many better ways to go about this. So many better ways. Have a good lurk. So, like, I don't know. For that in specific, like, asking AI about it, the fact that it went better than it had before is just, like, dumb luck. But also, like, you work at a university with multiple departments. You could just ask somebody for help. Like, there's literally a math department with a bunch of math nerds hanging out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they're doing that specifically with photos of their own faces. Ew. I hate that TENS. I just... Ugh. That's disgusting. I dished out too much peanut butter. Yeah, that's... All right. We have to do some shadows on the wall, and then I think this is done. That's not optimizing your workflow. That's just not doing the work. Like... Yeah. Like, if you want to animate, you have to walk the walk, you know? That's so silly. Yeah, that's totally fair, Shawnee. But both of those would be horrendous, I think. Because it definitely is not one of those situations where, like, there was a huge influx of people feeding, like, fanfic into AI to get the next chapter because they thought that the person who was writing it was taking too long. Like, one, how ungrateful. Like, this person is making you something for free. How about you shut up about it? Like, either you want your thing for free or you pay them. But not through AO3 because that's against US. But it's wild to me, like, the level of, like, oh, this is a tool for me to use kind of a thing, which means I can do whatever I want with it, which is like, no, that's not how it works. It's like, I don't understand why people are upset with me and blocking me over this, because you stole somebody else's work because you decided that you having something to read right then was more important than somebody else's integrity. Like, get fucked. I'm realizing that shadow is in the wrong spot, and we're just gonna pretend like we didn't notice that. Like, I don't get the people who are, like, getting so, like, creaming their pants about AI, because it's nothing. Like, it isn't actually the creative endeavor. It isn't actually, like, the thing that you want. So, like, what's the point? Yeah, exactly. It very much, now that you've said that, it very much reads like the women who invite people over for dinner and actually order takeout and then just, like, put it on fancy plates and pretend they made it. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't get the point. I also don't, this goes back to the drama a little bit, but I really don't get, like, trying to take ownership over something that you know is not yours, and, like, that's just not your business model. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. That shadow is gonna annoy the shit out of me for the rest of all time. I'm gonna see if I can lift it up a little bit. I don't think I can, but I'm gonna try, and maybe we will end up making this way worse, but you know. I think it's no dice on that one. All right, we just have to live with it. Yeah, for sure, Shawnee. Maybe I make it a double shadow. Because we do have like multiple light sources going on, so maybe that will make me feel a little better. Love that. Yeah, honestly, because I definitely do not measure things when I am cooking. That's like, that's a soul situation. You measure spices with your soul. Yep. I also do vibe-based baking, which is not recommended, but I do fine with it. I don't think that made it any better or worse, really. It's still going to annoy me, but... Yeah, some people, like, you just have to understand that you have to have done it enough that you understand what things are going to do a little bit. And, like, yeah, it's chemistry, but you don't always have to measure chemistry. Sometimes you can just throw shit in because you've done it enough that you know? So, like, I baked a lot of cakes when I was in high school, for instance. Like, I was baking multiple cakes a week just because I got obsessed with it. Hi, neurodivergency. So it got to the point where, like, I didn't need a recipe to make a cake. I just, like, had a vague brain understanding of what the ratio should be and was able to do that. I could not do that anymore because it's been long enough. But I also did that with marshmallows because I got obsessed with making homemade marshmallows at one point. And I tried to make a bunch of different flavors and stuff. Yeah, pretty much. And I don't want to do science. I want to screw around. And yes, Heichfelds. I don't know if I said that or not. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not as good with cookies because I have difficulty gauging the amount of time that they cook once you take them out of the oven. Because they do solidify a bit once you take them out of the oven. So I regularly overbake them. Which is great if you're doing gluten-free baking because they need longer. They need help solidifying. Okay, I think this is done. I don't think there's anything else I feel like adding to this. I say as I continue to stare at it, maybe I'll find something. Thank you, Vixen, and thanks for hanging out. Can we get a shout out for Vixen, please? If you guys are busy, I can do it. But...
With an invigorating all-over body pat.
Thanks for bapping me. Thank you. Yeah, that's Ferrickfeld's. I definitely have done cookies less overall. Although I haven't baked in a long while.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Thank you. Of course, Vixen. I'm trying to think of it. Like, I'm still looking at it. Like, is there anything else? But I think that's pretty good. Ooh, yes, please give me that, Felds. I want that. I keep, like, and I know it's never gonna hit, right? But I keep buying the, like, Walker shortbread stuff. And, like, it's just, like, yeah, it's good, but it isn't right. I don't know how to explain it. Thank you. I'm excited to see that. Okay. Most of these are dry, so we can put these back in here. You're mostly dry-ish. It's fine. Right? We're so glad that Tens actually got to leave work at the correct time instead of having to clean up other people's bullshit. Okay. Just need to not throw this, and then we'll be fine. Oh, all good. If you find it, that's fine. But if you don't, I will live and not hold it against you in the slightest. Because me too. God, I pulled out my cross stitch last night because I was like, oh, I want to work on it because somebody in another Discord shared the work that they had been doing on their cross stitch, and I was like, oh, I could do my cross stitch, and I pulled out the like actual fabric and the embroidery floss, and I could not find the like color guide sheet. I was like, that's really annoying. Like, I can do it without it because I, being pretty smart, I have to say, I thought ahead really well for this project. I, on the, like, little thread organizers, put the symbol for each of the colors next to the thread color. So I do know which is which. And there is a guide around the edge, and I've put a single stitch with each color that I've used so far next to the color guide there. But there is also like a printed guide, and I like using that because I can't always tell what has been printed on the actual cloth. But I really don't know where I put it. I might look for it more because, like, I was very good, and instead of continuing to look when it would have frustrated me, I stopped instead of continuing to frustrate myself. But it is still eating at me that I don't know where it is. I should probably leave this ruler out here, actually. Let's leave you here. And eventually you'll end up back in the bedroom again, but oh, interesting. I don't know what strong would be. Would that be like enriched? Maybe? Interesting. I'll have to look into that. Do you have anything else to say? I don't know that I do. Again, I do have stickers for sale for now. There is a pinned post with the coupon code if you would like that. I've also released the art print listings. And again, if you if there's a piece of art that I have made that you want a print of, just tell me. Because I'm printing them myself, which means I can just make you one. Because most of the stuff that I've done is already scanned, and I've messed with the file to make it look niceies. So just give me a holler if there's something you want that you don't see. Because I'm happy to make that. I think we will raid out now. I'm guessing that Rainbow is still going. Yes, it looks like she is. So we will go bother Rainbow, as is tradition. I say tradition. It's more like habit, I guess. I'm taking a photo of this while you guys can't see so that I can post it for art tax. Shawnee has put the raid commands in chat. The first one is the follower one that has emoji that you can use anywhere on Twitch. The second one has an emote you can use if you are subscribed to my channel. So please copy and paste the one that's relevant to you if you will be joining us on the raid today. I need to do this in the correct order. I also need to type correctly. Oh my goodness. It is like, nobody is like 100% typing all the time, but typing on a laptop that takes like 3 seconds to show whatever you've input is a task in and of itself. Which is what I get to work with, because that's the life that I lead. Let me actually do this. Okay. Doing things in the correct order so my laptop is less likely to implode. Yeah, it was good to see you for a bit, Tomato. I'm always happy to see everybody, even if you aren't chatting. It's nice for you to hang out, you know, and I hope that you hanging out with me is also nice, because if it's not nice, then you shouldn't be here. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I mean that in a take care of yourself way. If you aren't having fun, you can leave. Just hit the bricks. So thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for lurking or talking or whatever you were doing. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Remember that you're loved, because I love you. And if you can't take care of or be kind to yourself for yourself, please do so for me, because I think you're awesome and deserve nice things, including from yourself, even on the days when it's really hard. So let's work on being kinder to ourselves and each other, and then we can meet up back here for a top-up or talk about our victories, or, I don't know, make fun of drama that other people have created that aren't our problem. And I will see you all next time. Should be back on Monday, okay? Okay, bye!